Hi, I'm Chuck Chvala, former Senate Majority Leader.
And I'm Scott Jensen, former Assembly Speaker.
And we're the insiders. So, Scott, the Republican Party, the primary for governor gets more interesting by the day. Ramthun enters the race, endorsed by Donald Trump. What's your take?
Well, I think it's interesting that, you say he's endorsed by Donald Trump. There's a lot of speculation out there. Will Trump support Ramthun? Will Ramthun be able to raise any money? I think the answer to both of those questions will be no. I don't think he's going to get the president's endorsement. I don't think he's going to get lots of resources from the national level. I also think that you've got three Republican candidates who are all talking about the number one issue among Republican primary voters at the moment, which is election integrity. I don't see any one of them being able to get a big advantage over the others on the topic. They're all talking about their own different ideas, what we do to increase election integrity here in Wisconsin. What I do think is pretty clear, though, is that Ramthun doesn't take any votes away from Clayfish, but does take votes away from Nicholson. I think that's pretty likely. And that makes it harder for Nicholson in the primary. You know, he's trying to be the sort of anti-establishment lane. Well, now he's got another guy who's trying to be in the same lane as he is in. There's only so many votes over in that lane. And so I just don't think that helps Nicholson. It's a detriment to him. In the general election, though, things will switch off of the subject of election integrity to go to where the battleground is, independent voters in this state and the issues they care about. And the issues that they care about, the top issue right now is elections. It's not elections, is the economy and inflation. And that's what the topics will be after that. Evers and the Republican nominee will be debating that topic. The governor keeps wanting to run on COVID and on education, and I just don't think those are going to be winners for him by the time we get to the fall.
He thinks he doth protest too much. Ramthun, he is, the Republicans, it's interesting. They don't want to be, they don't want to be seen as David Duke, but they'll take all the racist votes. In this case, they want the crazies to vote for him. The crazies who really think the election was stolen, the Republicans want them to vote for them, but they don't want to be seen as crazy. And now they're going to be stuck. Ramthun's going to call them out. He's going to say the election of 2020 was stolen. Do you agree with that or not? And I'll tell you what, even if the others are able to beat Ramthun, which probably will happen, I agree, there's a good chance that somewhere between 5 and 15% of the Republican base won't be showing up, and certainly won't be showing up in that election for governor, because they're going to say, oh my God, Rebecca Clayfish and Nicholson, they believe that election wasn't stolen. You've got to be kidding. The fact that Scott has to acknowledge that the biggest piece of the base is about election integrity, and everybody who's an insider knows that's a bull BS issue, a total BS issue. There's no problem with election security. Our elections are clean and free. And I'll tell you what, they're going to be dragged to the right on this issue. And then when you get down to Clayfish and Nicholson, it's just a replay of what happened with the U.S. Senate race, where Tammy Baldwin, because of the right-wing fight, ends up winning by 11%. This primary is a disaster for Republicans. It's the clown car +1, and the +1 is Ramthun, and he is a wild card, which will really hurt Republicans. You see what's going on with Robin Vos out there and how they're challenging Robin Vos, and Robin Vos has to appoint Gableman to look like he really cares, even though Gableman can't do anything. This really looks like the gang that can't shoot straight, and I think this is going to be a disaster for Republicans. And you know what? It's popcorn time. Get a bowl of popcorn and sit in front of the TV. It's time to watch. It's going to be quite a show.
What I always notice is that when your party has a primary, you make the arguments for why the primary is a good thing and how it's going to be helpful. And I believe you made that all throughout 2018 when Tony Evers was running. It's okay to have all these people running. It's okay to have them taking shots at each other. And it did help, I think, in the end, help Governor Evers to win in that election. My guess is that this is a primary in which there'll be a quick pivot after August, and that Governor Evers will not be in the sort of position you think he is. You keep coming up with scenarios by which he's going to get lucky. Someone's going to gift him the election. I don't think that's going to happen during this cycle. the issue constellation that's out there right now is not lining up well for Democrats at all across the country. The party out of power generally does poorly in midterm elections. I mean, those are
Scott,
facts. That's history.
That's just totally wrong. The economy is great and only getting better. That you said is the number one issue. Points for Evers. But Leah Vukmir did not come out of this primary that she had and all of a sudden pivot away from Kevin Nicholson and beat Tammy Baldwin. That didn't happen. It's not going to happen here. And in fact, the difference between the Democratic primaries that you want to cite in this one is there's a fundamental difference. There's a bunch of right-wing crazies. We all know it. The Republicans know it. They don't know what to do about it. And those people may well abandon the Republican Party and say, hey, I don't have to vote in this election. Ramthun didn't make it through. I'll wait for Donald Trump. That's the difference between Democrats who, yes, have disagreements. And yes, I have a real problem with the left-wing cuckoos in our party. But this one is real. There's a piece of the base that really gets into this. That's why Ramthun is out there and can get the MyPillow guy to come to Wisconsin. That's the difference. And that primary is only going to shred the Republican Party. It's popcorn time, folks.
We'll see.
See you next time.